Hello everybody, Jordan here, the PH is silent, and we're going to start talking about the Outer Planes. There are 16 Outer Planes, and 5th edition has returned to the Great Wheel cosmology, so they all exist outside of the Elemental Planes and the Elemental Chaos. This is technically Forgotten Realms lore, but can be considered in general just D&D lore. The Outer Planes exist in the Forgotten Realms, but they aren't referenced as much as they are in, say, Planescape. So to make these Outer Plane videos, I had to pull a lot of information from various sources. The 5th edition Dungeon Master's Guide is incredibly useful, with a whole section on the Inner Planes and Outer Planes in detail. But also I grabbed lots of info from DMGs of older editions and, of course, Planescape. The Outer Planes are aligned in a circle or a wheel, and each reflects a certain combination of law, chaos, good, and evil. Guys, I couldn't find a ton of information out there. The Abyss and the Nine Helds had loads of information, but these good planes, it's a little more difficult. So forgive me if we have some shorter videos. I'm going to cover 2 planes in this video, Arcadia and Mount Celestia. We're going to start in the left top-ish corner of the wheel with Arcadia. Arcadia is a lawful neutral / good plane, right on the cusp of true neutral and lawful. Its full name is the Peaceable Kingdoms of Arcadia, and it sits between the 7 mounting heavens of Celestia and the clockwork nirvana of Mechanus. While reading, I came across the word petitioner, which are the souls of mortals that have made their way to the Outer Planes as part of the afterlife, and thus Arcadia is home to many petitioners who have made their way there for their afterlife. Arcadia thrives very well with orchards of perfectly lined trees, ruler straight seams, orderly fields, perfect roads, and cities laid out in geometrically pleasing shapes. Instead of a sun, there is a giant orb that floats above Arcadia's highest peak. It's split in half, radiating sunlight on one side and moonlight on the other. In perfect rhythm, it brings the day for a set amount of time and then the night for an equal amount of time. The weather in Arcadia is controlled by 4 demigods known as the Storm Kings, which are actually 2 kings and 2 queens. The Cloud King, the Wind Queen, the Lightning King, and the Rain Queen. They exist and work in balance to bring the weather to Arcadia, ensuring that every part of the plane receives a perfect blend of rain and shine. They live in citadels that orbit the orb of day and night. The corresponding weather of the king or queen surrounds their castle in the sky. Arcadia is divided up into 2 equal and infinite layers, Abellio and Buxinus. The 2 layers are very similar, with Buxinus bordering Mechanus being the major difference. Abellio is mostly flat with a few mountains and hills arranged just so. A perfectly conical mountain known as Mount Clangeddin is home to a dwarven kingdom, riddled with great halls, galleries, and roads all dwarven carved. These dwarves are famous for their legendary weapons and armor. Buxinus looks much like the first layer, but it's a place where armies are gathered. Buxinus hopes to push into the neighboring Mechanus and retrieve the 3rd and lost layer known as Menesis, which fell too lawful and was absorbed by Mechanus. It literally doesn't exist anymore on either plane, absorbed so fully their war for retrieval might be impossible. The 7 heavens of Celestia is our next plane of existence, the Lawful Good plane that borders Arcadia. You may travel there via an open portal between the 2. Lawful Good in nature, Celestia is the plane of mercy and understanding. Celestia is a single mountain that rises from a sea of holy water to incomprehensible heights. It has 7 plateaus that mark its 7 heavenly layers. The 7 heavens from bottom to top are Lunia, Mercuria, Venia, Solania, Mertion, Yovar, and Cronaius. Each is connected by a sequence of portals, the entrance of which sits at the highest point of the particular layer. Celestia's primary residents are the Archons, which Archons are to Celestia what devils are to the 9 hells, natives of the plane and purveyors of its ideals. Lunia has shores connecting to the endless sea surrounding Celestia, along with portals that will take you to nearby realms. Lunia's sky is dark but filled with silvery bright stars, enough to illuminate the shores that run up against the base of the mountain. The shores are dotted with citadels of polished white stone, and many are open to trade with visitors from the material plane. Mercuria, also called the Golden Heaven, aptly named because of the golden light that suffuses everything. Great tombs and wondrous mausoleums grant eternal rest to the noblest of fighters. Bahamut has a palace here, built entirely from the treasure hoard of the Platinum Dragon himself. The palace windows are gemstones set in gold and silver, its walls are inlaid with copper and jade, and the floor is hammered mithril. Although commonly on the second layer, Bahamut's palace moves from the first 4 layers of Celestia at Bahamut's will, carried by a strong wind. Venya, also known as the Pearly Heaven, these slopes are laced with snow, yet rivers run warm. In the summer there are green fields, and here the crops never fail. Yandala, the Halfling Deity, belongs to this realm and oversees its people and agriculture. Its residents live in small rustic buildings and burrowed households. It sounds like a halfling town, but there isn't any mention that this is only halflings. Solania, the fourth layer of Celestia, is known as the Crystal Heaven. Solania's peaks are home to monasteries, cathedrals, and other holy shrines. There is a shining fog that fills the valley, which gives the entire area a magnificent glow. Mertion is next and is known as the Platinum Heaven. The city of Imperia is on this peak. Known as the City of Tempered Souls, it's home to many healing fountains that have the capability of restoring withered limbs, lost speech, or life energy. Yovar is the second to last peak, known as the Glittering Heaven. The slopes here are adorned with great rubies and garnets that twinkle in the light. Yovar is home to Yetzira, the Heavenly City, a 7-layered ziggurat that overlooks all of Yovar. Gemstones of profound value make up every step and every stone of the ziggurat, and all glow with an inner light. The bridge of Al-Sahal on the 7th terrace is a beam of blinding light and also the portal to the 7th heaven. Cronius, the 7th layer, is known as the Illuminated Heaven. Few that reach this point ever return, so little is known about it. Some say that reaching the peak in overwhelming goodness takes over and you become one with Celestia itself. If evil is in your heart, you are utterly destroyed and permanently erased from the multiverse. Kind of a shorter video this week, but we covered the Lawful Neutral / Good Arcadia and the Lawful / Good Mount Celestia. Please give a like if you enjoyed this video and think about subscribing. I'll be covering all the planes in the next series of videos. Next week is Bitopia and Elysium. Thanks for watching everybody, and I will see you in the next video.